there was another fire that burned through that same area earlier this year, and this was one of those areas that slid down across Highway 70 as you get up above Lake Oroville. So that area has been shut down. There's been several different mudslides and boulders that have closed off roads throughout Northern California. 360,000 people, they said, without power at some point in Northern California because of these fires. So, sorry, because of the storm. I think it's because I'm more used to talking about fire than I am talking about rain. So, Disneyland hasn't had a great couple of years, right? I mean, they had to shut down for 13 months because of COVID. And when they came back, they were still dealing with some of the issues that they had beforehand. Some of the issues, I mean, listen, it's a good problem to have. Too many people at Disneyland, that's a good problem for them to have. But one of the things that they did several years ago was they did a 5-tiered pricing system in 2016. It was just an on-demand, or to match the demand, perhaps. When demand is highest, the prices are going to go up. When demand is lowest, the prices are going to go down. The lowest demand days, like a Tuesday in late January, still going to cost you $104. Prices have increased, though, for the other 4 tiers above that, and there's even a 6th tier that's been added. So right now, the highest price you would pay to get into Disneyland for a one-day visit to a single park is $164. Now, again, that's not all the time. It's just for the highest demand days of the year. So there's certain weekends, there's certain holidays like Christmas Eve and things like that, New Year's Eve, spring break. The highest one-day park ticket before that was $154. So what they've done is they've boosted the top price from $154 up to $164. The prices for the tickets that you can go back and forth between Disneyland and California Adventure, the Park Hopper, is going to increase by as much as 7%. Now, this is roughly matching inflation. I mean, the inflation rate in the United States was about 5.5% over that same 12 months that ended in September. So, in all honesty, it's not a crazy increase in price, but it is getting and generating headlines. Several popular attractions, this is where it's going to run into some public sentiment problems. Several of the attractions are still closed. They've been closed. Even though the parks themselves are reopened, they have been closed. For example, a fireworks show, the water and light displays like Fantasmic and World of Color over in Disney, most of the costume parades are not back yet, all because of COVID. First of all, they don't want you gathering, licking the neck of the guy in front of you while you're watching Fantasmic. I guess I understand that.
Although the fireworks shows are back on every night.
They are?
Yes.
Okay.
But Fantasmic is not.
Fantasmic and World of Color isn't?
No. And they're not doing the regular parade. They're doing sort of like a pop-up parade. So people aren't just sitting along the side of Main Street for an hour getting ready for it.
Licking the neck of the guy in front of them.
I'm not licking necks, Gary.
Well, you've not been to the same parks that I have. In August, they changed their annual pass program, and I was watching Calculus on Pornhub the other day. No, that's enough. Stop it. In August, Disney changed its 37-year-old annual pass program and changed it to something they call the Magic Key program that would require you, as an annual pass holder, although they're calling you a Magic Key holder now, you have to make a reservation before you go to the park. And you're still blocked out on some of the busiest days. And this is a good problem for Disney to have. They have a problem of the parks get really crowded at times. They make shiploads of money, tons of money, and that's a good thing for them to have to work out and how to do, right? That Disney is one of those. Disney and In-N-Out are probably the best organizations when it comes to dealing with crowds and how to do it and not lose money or make people feel like they're in line, right? They've also changed the way that they do their fast passes and things like that. This new app called Disney Genie, which replaces the fast pass and the max pass, lets you reserve a time slot for a ride and avoid the traditional lines and instead go straight into an expedited fast pass lane kind of thing. The Genie app, the Disney Genie, is a free app that will recommend an itinerary based on the attractions and the shows and the eateries that you want. It's similar. Disney Genie Plus is a similar app that would actually cost you $20 per day and could be used to make reservations to get rides at a specific time instead of just a suggested itinerary. So all of these things, listen, again, everybody complains Disney may be expensive or feels like it's. This is a good problem for them to have.
And I can tell you that the crowds since the park reopened, they're not like they were before. So it's not a bad time to go to the park if you've been thinking about it, because they're not back up to 100% open again.
Have you ever been when it's raining?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have heard. I've never been when it's raining. I take that back. One of the events that we did here for the company, we got it after hours kind of park. It started raining then. That was as close as I got. But a full day while it's raining in Anaheim, I've heard is fantastic.
Because there are no lines.
Right.
But it's kind of miserable.
You smell like a wet rat at the end of it, I'm sure. But still, you get free. No lines is a huge thing.
Yeah.
When we come back, all of our trending stories. We got some Gas Fantasy foreplay, Swamp Watch, mixtape. Still got all kinds of stuff left in this 2 hours left in this show. Daring Channel will continue right after this.
Prepare to be stimulated. KFI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
When will it all end? I'm Amy King, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
The pandemic is far from over.
The Director General of the World Health Organization says the COVID-19 pandemic will end when the world chooses to end it.
It is in our hands.
Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus told the World Health Summit in Berlin that all of the tools needed are at our disposal.
Effective public health tools and effective medical tools.
But he says those tools have not been shared equitably. A Southern California business organization says studies show women and minority-owned businesses have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19. Economics for Women says about half of small businesses started by women during the pandemic have been started by women of color. The program director, Ruth Garcia Corrales, says a lot of them had to juggle health care, or child care rather, because of virtual learning.
That means more women at home that need an extra income that are reaching out to us to create home-based businesses.
She says a lot of women have been forced to quit their jobs or take on part-time work because child care centers have also been closed. 3 people have been found dead at a home on Balboa Island in Newport Beach. One person is in the hospital. Police got a medical aid call just before 8:30 this morning. They say the dead are 2 women and a man. A candlelight vigil has been held in Burbank for the cinematographer accidentally shot and killed by Alec Baldwin on a movie set.
A crowd had gathered outside a local entertainment union building to remember the late Helena Hutchins. People held candles as speakers shared personal stories about the cinematographer. A friend of Hutchins, who's a producer in the industry, was at the vigil last night grieving.
We were all very proud of her. Her career was going to skyrocket.
People at the event expressed their frustration with what had happened, including actor Jeffrey Johnson.
No project is worth a young life like this.
Hutchins was 42 years old. In Burbank, Blake Trolley, KFI News.
Colombia's most wanted drug lord has been captured. Military officials arrested Dairo Antonio Usuga at his jungle hideout in Colombia Saturday. The massive operation involved more than 500 soldiers and 22 helicopters. Officials say Usuga had been on the run for more than a decade. He's been accused of smuggling more than 73 tons of cocaine into the U.S. since 2003. The governor of Georgia has taken a swing at Major League Baseball now that the Atlanta Braves are in the World Series. Governor Brian Kemp criticized Major League Baseball for moving the All-Star game out of his state in April to protest an election law in Georgia.
It's really ridiculous to inject politics into sports and into baseball, but that's what they did.
Kemp says losing the All-Star game hit minority-owned businesses hard. The governor of Texas also got off a shot at Major League Baseball. He says it's karma that some of the World Series games are being played in Houston, Texas. Researchers at UCLA have identified new benefits for women who breastfeed.
The study published in Evolution, Medicine, and Health found that women over 50 who had breastfed performed better on cognitive tests. Studies show when cognition becomes impaired after the age of 50, it can be a strong predictor for Alzheimer's, and women make up almost 2/3 of Americans with the disease. In 2 trials, 115 women who met certain requirements were tested. Results showed women who had breastfed performed better in learning, delayed recall, executive functioning, and processing tests compared to women who had not breastfed. In L.A., Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Crashing Glendale on the 134.
Westbound side before you get to Glendale Avenue, where the 3 left lanes are taken away. Things are backing up just before you get to the 2. As you're making the ride on the 210 freeway, on the eastbound side right there at Ocean View Boulevard, there is a crash taking away the 2 right lanes, so things are pretty heavy coming away from Pennsylvania Avenue. Good Boyle Heights, southbound side of the 5 at 4th. The off-ramp is shut down here at the crash, and things are really jammed up just before you get to the 110. Northbound side of the 5, that also slows down a little bit as you're coming away from Indiana on over 2-4. Also, it's a slow ride coming out of Hollywood, southbound side of the 101 from Melrose over to the 110 freeway. And you're going to see delays if you're heading along the 15 south coming out of Hesperia from Ranchero Road to about Kenwood. KFI and the Sky Hills get you there faster. I'm Jay.
This hour of the Gary and Shannon Show is brought to you by SolarMax Technology.
Get a package that includes the new Tesla 420 panels and Powerwall for $79.96 per month and $0 down.
Go to solarmaxtech.com.
Listen, you got to get out of that house for whatever reason. Maybe you inherited a property that you don't want, or you got some financial issues that have finally caught up with you. Selling a home can usually mean hours of cleaning and painting, repairing and staging. But directbuyers.com can help you avoid all of that. They'll give you a fair price for that house. No third parties. No one ever has to walk through your home. And directbuyers.com is not one of those impersonal platforms where they're just facilitating some sort of a deal. This is a family-owned business that has been in Southern California since 1986. We have talked with the owners, Janet and Matt, about how they have made service the most important part of their business. DirectBuyers.com can buy your house, no contingency, no inspection, no appraisal, no commission, no fees, and they're going to give you a fair price. And they'll do it fast, usually within 10 days. They can even, if you need it, give you a $15,000 cash advance. So do not sell your home until you talk to DirectBuyers.com. See what they can offer you. They'll give you an honest, no-obligation offer. They're not going to lowball you. Go to DirectBuyers.com. That's DirectBuyers.com. 844-242-SELL. 844-242-SELL, directbuyers.com.
Want a new set of wheels without spending hours at car dealerships? Download the Roto app. That's R-O-D-O. You can browse thousands of vehicles from your phone, buy a car in minutes, and even have it delivered. Plus, Roto finds every discount available, so you know you're always getting the best price, with no hidden fees. Listen, if you're ready to buy a car, make it easy on yourself and go with Roto. Download the Roto app now or check out roto.com. That's ROTO.com.
KFI Market Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow trading up 78 points. The Nasdaq is up 150. S&P 500 up 24. The average price for gas in California, $4.55 a gallon.
Bay Alarm security systems can change with your business, so you're right for now and ready for the next.
Southland weather from KFI. Rain this afternoon, highs in the upper 50s and 60s. The heaviest rain is expected in the next couple of hours. Rain is going to taper off this evening and become mostly clear overnight with lows in the 40s and 50s. We're back to sunny skies tomorrow, highs in the 60s to mid-70s. Sunny and warmer Wednesday with highs in the upper 60s to mid-70s at the beaches, 70s to mid-80s inland, and even warmer for Thursday. It's 64 in Laguna Beach, 65 in Pasadena, 63 in Fountain Valley, 64 in Hacienda Heights. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Amy King.
Gary and Shannon, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Reminder that this Friday, we're going to be live at BJ's Restaurant and Brew House in the city of Orange. We'll be there doing the show live. We'd love to see you in costume. We'll be there in costume as well. And because every once in a while it's okay to act like a child. And why not on Friday? Because you can do it with beer this time. And great food from BJ's. So we'll see you out there on Friday again at BJ's Restaurant and Brew House in the city of Orange this Friday. What else is going on?
Time for What's Happening.
Well, we were talking earlier about some of these internal documents from Facebook, they are not making the company look good, although it's really way too large for this to cause massive problems, but it is a dent, at least, in the reputation of Facebook. Some employees say that Mark Zuckerberg's obsession with growth overrode any ethical concerns and allowed hate speech and incitements to violence to spread unchecked. One staffer wrote on the day of the January 6th attacks on the Capitol, quote, "History will not judge us kindly. We've been fueling this fire for a long time, and we shouldn't be surprised. It's now out of control." Facebook employees spent a lot of time and months raising concerns about the engagement-obsessed algorithms that push users towards extreme and conspiratorial content. And they said they felt betrayed. These are internal Facebook employees. Said they felt betrayed by a lack of action from within the company. Talk a little bit more about that when we get into Swamp Wax, because this will be coming up in Congress. Now, Rolling Stone magazine, speaking of January 6th, is out with a report today by Hunter Walker that says there are at least two people who admit, as they were getting ready for and developing plans for rallies on January 6th, that multiple members of Congress were intimately involved in planning not just the events that eventually turned violent, the rallies themselves there in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, but that they were intimately involved in planning Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the election law. This is one of those issues we're going to dive into quite a bit. I'll go through this whole article in Rolling Stone when we get into Swamp Wax at the bottom of the hour. Big, huge protest in New York City today. Municipal employees marched across the Brooklyn Bridge against the COVID vaccine mandate. The protest was set to end on the front steps of City Hall on the Manhattan side of the bridge. And they said it was an anti-mandate protest on behalf of nearly 50,000 New York City employees who had yet to be vaccinated. There was yet another protest Sunday night at the Barclays Center in support of Kyrie Irving, who is not being allowed to play basketball because he doesn't want to get the vaccine just yet. They're talking about this threat from Bill de Blasio, the mayor, that vaccination rates have been lagging behind the general population at several large city agencies, including the NYPD and the NYSD. The mayor did offer a $500 incentive for city workers to get vaccinated. Even that's causing controversy. Several unions now demanding back pay for those workers who already got the vaccination without a bonus. This is one of those issues that's going to continue to be a sticking point for these municipalities. And we mentioned this the other day. So Chicago is one of those places where a vaccine mandate has caused problems in police agencies. Chicago PD, the union has been telling its members to hold the line and not report their vaccination status. Florida says, hey, come on down. Yesterday, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida announced plans to offer police officers $5,000 bonuses to relocate to Florida and join the police forces that are down there. Because he said, we don't care. We'll treat you better than your own city does. Speaking of vaccines, COVID vaccine boosters are now available. In fact, I got an alert on Friday, I think it was Friday, that surprised me. I got an alert that said that from LA County Public Health, this would have been Saturday morning, I suppose, usted es elegible para una dosis de refuerzo si han pasado 2 meses desde se vacuna J&J COVID, which means, for those of you who aren't following me or are watching calculus on Pornhub, LA County Public Health says I'm eligible for a booster dose because it's been 2 months since my Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine. I don't have to be a certain age. I just have to have had my Johnson & Johnson single shot, and I'm already eligible for a booster. So, Hertz is getting into the electric car business. Hertz has ordered 100,000 Teslas to add to its rental car fleet. Bulk purchase that could help Tesla get more of its cars into the hands of mainstream consumers. First, customers will be able to rent a Tesla Model 3 at airports and other locations in major U.S. markets and some of the cities in Europe. I saw today that Tesla stock is up to about $1,000 and now has a market capitalization of $1 trillion. $1 trillion. Ever wonder what people did with all of their COVID relief funds? A guy in Georgia faces a charge of wire fraud after federal prosecutors said he spent some of his COVID relief funds on a Pokemon card. Vinod Odasune of Dublin, Georgia, applied for money from the Economic Injury Disaster Loans designed to help small businesses on July 14th of 2020. He said he was the sole owner of a business that brought in a couple $100,000 in a 12-month span, and that he had 10 employees. He received a deposit of $85,000 into his account. Roughly 5 months later, he took that $85,000 and spent two-thirds of it on a Pokemon card. It was not described in court documents, so we don't know if it was actually worth it. But the record price for any Pokemon card has been set by SGC Grading, Gold Label, Charizard, sold for $370,000. In this case, this guy bought a Pokemon card for $67,789. And finally, we're talking about Disneyland. One of the posts that's going viral having to do with Disneyland is a couple that was wearing a shirt. Well, I should say they were wearing shirts, kind of matching, thematic shirts. And a lot of Disney files think that those shirts should be banned from Disneyland. Fans posted a photo of a couple wearing matching shirts. And you know the big fancy D that they've got, the calligraphy D that's on a lot of their marketing, a lot of their products? One shirt says, "I wanted the D." And the other shirt says, "I gave her the D." Sam Carter, a former Disney creative designer, said D is for dope. One person wrote, "If they banned these shirts from ever being allowed in Disney Park again, I wouldn't be mad." Somebody else wrote, D is for discomfort. Disney does say very clearly, we hear reports of it every once in a while, they have the right to refuse entry or to remove any guest they want who happens to be wearing what they consider inappropriate attire. So,
was it inappropriate? Was it found inappropriate?
Yes.
Maybe I didn't get it.
I wanted the D. And he was wearing a shirt that said, "I gave her the D."
Yeah, I wanted the Disneyland.
No. Bless your heart.
I'm just too innocent.
That's exactly what it is. Gas fantasy foreplay when we come back. Amy King is in the newsroom with an update.
On Southern California has flooded highways, knocked down trees, and caused mud flows in wildfire burn areas in Northern California. The National Weather Service said yesterday was the fourth wettest day in San Francisco dating back to the gold rush years. New York City firefighters and police officers have marched across the Brooklyn Bridge to City Hall to protest the COVID-19 vaccine mandate. All New York City workers have to have their first dose by this Friday, or they'll be put on unpaid leave. The actor best known for his role as Gunther at Central Perk on Friends has died. James Michael Taylor died Sunday at home in L.A. from prostate cancer. He was 59. We'll check to see what's going down on the 405 next.
It is really easy to take your life for granted. Days like today, you're going to see all kinds of accidents, and hopefully you're not in one. But if you are, you've got to call Sweet James. Sweet James accident attorneys know firsthand how unjust and unfair the legal system is to victims of accidents. That's why their army of winning and passionate attorneys fight for thousands of injured accident victims every day to ensure that they get the medical treatment they need, get help with their car, and settle the most amount of money possible. You do not want to take it on alone. In fact, an independent study revealed the average person got over 3 times the money with the right accident attorney than without. So insurance companies may say they are on your side, but they're not. If you're ever hurt in an accident, call Sweet James, 800-500-5200, 800-500-5200, or go to sweetjames.com.
Trying to fire the word. Hold on. Oh, there. No, there. We got a crash in West LA on the 405. Just stop it. Crash on the 405 in West LA.
Stop outside of the 405 right before you get to Sunset Boulevard. It looks like this just got cleared to right shoulder. Overall, it's going to be a pretty slow ride, though, from the 101. And if you're heading on the 101, stop outside of close to Laurel Canyon, you got a crash here taking away the center divider. That's going to be pretty backed up coming away from Woodman. Heading into Boyle Heights, stop outside of the 5 freeway sports. Still got a crash here blocking the off-ramp. And overall, that's going to be a slow ride coming away from the 2. And things are going to be slow on the 110 north coming out of South LA from Vernon on the 2 about the 101. KFI and the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jay Lewis.
This report is sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross.
Anthem Blue Cross and Heart of America are helping schools across the country increase their access to healthy food. Learn more at anthem.com/ca/SPARK. Anthem Blue Cross is the trade name of Blue Cross of California.
Did you get all the stimulus money for you and your family? Do you have children and didn't know you could receive monthly child tax credit payments? You can claim your monthly child tax credit payments and receive stimulus payments, even if you don't file a traditional tax return. Visit ssa.gov/EIP to learn how you can apply online. Get the money your family deserves. Visit ssa.gov/EIP. Produced at U.S. Taxpayers.
Sponsored by SSA.
Hi, we're hosts. Meet Dr. Gerald Pearlstein. He's a thoracic surgeon at the Host Family Cancer Institute who loves the outdoors and hiking. He's also a leader in robotic-assisted surgery who trains other surgeons nationwide. Dr. Pearlstein would love to get to know you and is ready to make a positive difference in your family's life. Get to know Host. Visit hosthealth.org and find your physician today. My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time by visiting nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm Susan Ellen, managing partner at OPO Law. Over 43 years of experience, over 10,000 personal injury cases with a 98% success rate. If you've been injured, call 888-OPO-WINS for a free consultation.
You are the proud possessor of a secret weapon, maybe even several. Your major appliances, washers, dryers, dishwashers. When you use your appliances outside the peak hours of 4 to 9 p.m., you're choosing times when renewable energy is plentiful. Now that's using your powers for good. SCE Time of Use, an easy way to make a change for the better. Visit SCE.com/POU rates for more information.
There's a new low rate in town, and it's Wawanesa Auto Insurance. Big savings, great service. It's the Wawanesa way. For a free auto insurance quote, call 877-WA-WANESA or visit